Hey everybody, how are you today? Today is, I have to think about the date. It is Thursday, the 10th of October. And I don't know about you, but I cannot believe that we are already in October. Oh my goodness, that scared me. We're all alone, and sometimes bumps and things that go crazy even in the daytime freak me out. But anyway, sorry about that. So I know it's been a while since I've been on. I've had so many things going on. I don't even know where to start, but I'm sure I won't be able to catch you guys up on everything. But um, things that have happened is I had some issues with my phone, so I literally was without a phone for like 2 weeks, which was horrific. Horrific. No phone, no internet, no Wi-Fi. Although I made my ad libbed and was able to find a way and get some things done so that I could get online and be able to talk on the phone. However, I was unable to get on social media for to make videos. And some of you probably found me on another posting another Facebook or another TikTok. I know because I kept getting messages like, "Hey, is that you?" Or "Did you get hacked?" And because I am so computer illiterate, I did not know how to access, my current line on, because I had a phone that didn't have service, but I had Wi-Fi on it, so it was virtually being used like a tablet, I guess they said. And so there were things I could do on it and things I couldn't, but for the life of me, I could not access my current TikTok or Facebook. So anyway, long story short, that's all done and taken care of for now, hopefully. But nonetheless, I'm back, and so many things have happened. Good things, not so good things, some really sad things, and then good things is that I am actually launching a new uh, social media channel. I'm actually launching a YouTube channel. I am going to try my hand at YouTube, and so you might hear me repeating some things today. With introduction, talking a little bit about myself. So let's just start with this. The new YouTube channel is going to be Cindy Cortez New Life Restoration. And so I am going to focus on pretty much kind of like what I've already been focusing on, talking about new life, living a life of total transformation from sober living, living a life of peace, joy, happiness, and total fulfillment, inner peace, that sort of thing. But I'm going to really talk a lot about, that's so easy to say those things and to roll them off your tongue, but it's not so easy to make it happen. And I'm 62 years old, and it's taken me a lifetime to get to where I'm at today. So I'm going to basically be taking you all on a journey with me on everything that I did, the work that I've done, the things, the drawbacks, the hurts, the pains, the hangups, the habits, all of the things that got me to where I'm at today. Talking about, addiction, talking about sobriety, talking about relationships, talking about being 60 and dating again, talking about women's issues, talking about empowering yourself as an individual, talking about being a survivor. Um, my story is as such. My name is Cindy. I turned 62 this year. I am the proud mother of four of the most awesome people on the face of this earth. I have four children. My son, my firstborn, my only son, I call him my king, Andrew. He just turned, he is 45 this year. No, I'm sorry, 44. 44 this year. My firstborn, I had him when I was only 17. I was a teen mom. So I will be reflecting a lot of stories on becoming a teen mom, what that entailed. Not only was I a teen mom, I also was forced by my Catholic family, very strong, influence to get married. There was no question about it. At 17, I found myself forced to be married to my 20-year-old, the father of my child, and became a mother, and then then embarked that first chapter of my life of being a victim of domestic violence. My first husband physically, mentally, and emotionally abused me at 17. It was a horrific trauma that I lived through, but I also survived it and I got through it. I got my son and I out of it. Yes, we have some major scars, and my son has suffered considerably. However, he is the most amazing father and husband today, and I owe it all. He's done a lot of his own inner work, his own inner in-depth soul searching, and looking into helping himself and overcoming some of those issues. So I'm very proud of him. That's my favorite guy in the world, my son. And then I have my three gorgeous daughters. Lauren is my eldest. She just turned 35 this year. And so had my son at 17, and 9.5 years later, I had my daughter at 26. Just to kind of fast forward a little bit, after I had my son, I went back to school, excuse me, I finished school, I went on to college, I got my degree, I became a social worker at Department of Social Services, where I worked for about 10 years. I was a social worker, I was a case manager, I did crisis intervention, I had a specialized caseload, working with first teen parents, and then working with sexual assault victims, and working with sexually abused children. Very, very earth-shaking experience for me. It really, had a lot to do with molding who I was at the time and who I am today. Those experiences, while very, very traumatic, and very, very, major, they were part of creating the person I am today. And so also as a employee for the Department of Social Services, Fresno County, Fresno County is not the best place to work. As a county employee, it's a very abusive relationship with the county and you as an employee. This is my experience, my personal experience, I'm sharing with you all. And I eventually resigned from that position as I filed a sexual harassment suit against my immediate supervisor. So there were issues with that as well, and things that transpired as a result of that, and being taken advantage of as a young, fresh, young. At the time I started my career at social services, I was 24, fresh out of college. And then after 2 years there, I married my husband, who I met there, was also a social worker. We then married, had children, that sort of thing. And so as I promoted within the county system, my last position there, I found myself at, I was 28, 29, somewhere around there. I had been working there. I was, at that time, I had my specialized caseload with the sexually abused children. I had a specialized caseload working with victims and their families. And, I had been specifically asked to be put on that assignment because I had confided in my supervisor at the time. And I don't know if I should be so bold to say his name. I would. I really don't have any problems, but I think I need to look into the legalities of that, being that I did file grievances against the county for that. So I better just play it safe right now. But, I'm going to find out, and if I can, you best believe I will, eventually come out with his name. But anyway, so I confided in him my trauma as being a rape survivor. And so he, befriended me and, decided that he would start having these after work sessions with me. So after the 9 to 5, I would meet with him in his office, and we would meet for about an hour. And he would have these sessions with me where he would basically just have me talk to him, as if he was my therapist. And, and I trusted him, and I revealed only because at the time, my ordeal, I was a victim of a very heinous crime at the age of 21. I was abducted and raped, and it was a very traumatic, very nightmarish, hellish ordeal that I didn't think I was going to live through, but by the grace of God, I did. And so afterwards, I suffered with I went through my alcohol bit, and then I got into a program, got sober, and got my job at the county. So I did not pursue any kind of professional therapy because, at my age and in our generation, and, I would reach out to some family, like specifically my mom, siblings, who would basically tell me, just it's happened, it's done, it's over with. Just forget about it. Don't think about it anymore. Don't think about it. You have a beautiful life. You have a new husband, new baby, two beautiful children. We just bought a new house, new career, everything. So, you have no reason to go back and think about those times. And so because of that, I believe that, and I didn't pursue professional counseling. So the only outlet I had at the time was the supervisor of mine, and I trusted him and believed that he really had my best interest at heart. And then he prefaced it by saying that he offered me the position of having that assignment. He said that I was an awesome counselor, a great listener. I had these exceptional counseling abilities and a great ability to relate with my clients. And but he felt that in order to do that and to hone in on those those qualities and to polish them and to continue growing and learning and getting better in that position would require me to work with him on a regular basis. And so that went on for a couple of years until and basically, and it was all, there was no no pivotal moment where he physically abused me. It was more mental, emotional, and him abusing his power over me. And that's not to minimize those things, because it was nightmarish for me on top of what I had already been through, and again, remember back then, I was a teen parent, got out of a abusive marriage, and then, went on to go to college and get my degree, and then, was a victim of a heinous crime, and then, went on, picked myself up, dusted myself off, got through that, and then, met my wonderful husband at the time. Well, I thought he was at the time. He's all right. He's all right. Okay. And there were problems, but it takes two. Okay. Let me just say. Anyway, so So anyway, yeah, so, there I was, this young, I believe, like I said, I was probably about 29, 30 at the time. From the age of, because I had my daughter at 26, and I was employed there at the department when I was pregnant with my daughter, because I remember them doing a shower for me and having a leave of absence and all that stuff. Going back to work, I took an extended leave, so I went back to work when she was 5 months old. Oh, that was heartbreaking too. So many stories about being a mother that I want to input into this channel. Anyway, my career started at the age of 24, and then it went on until I was 34. At which time I basically had had enough. The abuse, the intimidation, the overpowering, the very, very, the work conditions unmanageable. I had a caseload count of 250 plus at the time, and that time that was what, 1992. And it was crazy. That's unmanageable, very unmanageable. And I also, it was a specialized caseload where I had, special needs clients that were abused, needed services. I needed to identify. I needed to be able to identify their needs, their services, what their barriers were as far as what type of counseling, what type of services that they needed to, in order to get the help that they needed, and then to get them. I was actually, my actual position was in, at the time, that we called the GAIN program, Greater Avenues for Independence. And it was actually, I think they call it Welfare to Work now. So it was at the beginning stages of them starting to, that generational thing where they were attempting to start breaking the cycles of generational dependency on the system, and making it mandatory for people to get up and go work and that sort of thing. So my position was, I had a specialized caseload with these people who had these barriers because of their ordeals of abuse, addiction, or whatever these issues were that were preventing them from going out and becoming employable. It was my job to be able to identify their issue, get them the help they needed, work with them, and then eventually prepare them to become employable and get out there and become self-sufficient. So that's a big mouthful. It's a big responsibility. And again, I had a caseload count of 250 cases, and to be able to expect people to just jump through hoops like that, like that, like that, like that. Let's get you in. Let's figure out what's wrong with you. What's your problem? Let's get you help. Let's get you taken care of. Let's you all good and well. Let's get you ready to get out and there and go to work. It just didn't happen that way. And it was very frustrating for me because I was and am still somewhat of a perfectionist. So, I really, really wanted to each and every one of my clients to be a success. I wanted to really see them overcome these things and see them succeed and see them to get on with their lives and become productive and self-confident and all that good stuff. But the problem was that I wasn't even dealing with me. Here I was working, trying to get all these people to help and dealing with all of these things, and triggers every single place I turned with these triggers of this person, that person, this person, that person. I also had, at one point, I had a special caseload of teen parents. So everywhere I turned there were triggers for me in that job. And I eventually just cracked, like a doggone glass ball. I just cracked, and I could not do it anymore. I just couldn't. And realized that I was being intimidated by this person and bullied, intimidated, bullied, and expected to come up with all of these, all of these results and provide all of these results for this program and for the county, just so this person can get the recognition. Because at that time, GAIN, the Greater Albanese for Independence, was actually a new program. And the teen parent program was very new. In fact, I was one of the workers that basically built that program. Implemented the PPG, the program guidelines and the policies, and got it off the ground and running. And I was one of the workers responsible for that. However, with the pressure that this man continually put on me, and the demands after work and expecting me to stay and all this prolonged time, and really demanding, putting these unrealistic demands on me, were just way too much. And I had it. I couldn't do it anymore. So I cracked. I gave in, and I walked away from that job. I had to. And it was hard. And the hardest part about it was walking away, from my clients, because I loved them all so dearly. I mean, I had gotten close, which is a big no-no. As a social worker, case manager, counselor, whatever your job is, you're not to get that emotionally invested in your clients, because it will break you. It will. However, things have changed now, and all those things that I learned back when I got my degree, back when I was in my 20s, are so, everything's so different now. And the high, the whole thing with the progression of addiction and the needs that are being out there now to help people, just those things aren't working. Those tactics that we learned back in the 90s are not even effective anymore. We need more. It takes more, and it's going to take more. And don't get me started on that, Rome, because I'll go off on a tangent. There'll be time for that. Trust me, there will be. So anyway, that's a little bit of who I am, a little bit of my what's the word I want to use? My mojo. Mojo's not the word. Anyway, I can't think of it right now. But anyway, so for those of you that don't know me, that's just a little bit of who I am. And that's, I'm just like going to come on here on a regular basis, because I was told if you can video yourself every day, and if not, commit to at least 2 to 3 times a week. Start off 2 to 3 times a week. So that's going to be my goal, is to make sure 2 to 3 times a week that I come on and record, update you guys, let you guys know what's going on in the life of Cindy, whether it be talking about addiction, transformation, talking about my puppy, talking about my dating. No, I'm not dating. I would like to be eventually. I'm not now. I'm not, kind of looking, maybe, sort of, maybe. But yeah, that's all we're going to talk about right now. But anyways, yeah. But I do want to talk about relationships and dating at my age, because look, I'm not by no means dead and buried, okay? I am ready and willing. In some ways, I feel like I am probably more mature, more ready, and at a better place I am today than I ever had been before, ever in my life, when I pursued a relationship. And, unfortunately, that does include my 2 marriages, even though the first one, ended up being a physically abusive one. We're friends now, sort of. I mean, we're cordial, we're decent. We have our son, our grandkids, whatnot. So we're decent, we're cordial people. Um, I have learned to forgive. God's forgiven me, and so I have forgiven. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to say about that for now. My second husband, the father of my three daughters, good man, very hardworking man, very, very high ethics, was raised in a small town, Reedley, by, parents who, migrated here from Mexico, had a very strong, strong work ethic. I admire his family, 150. They all are very hard workers and take that very seriously, working and supporting their families and making sure, that everybody is taken care of and the responsibilities are met. These people are very good, role models of that, and I respect them highly, him and his family. So, if anything, he was a good provider and a good role model for my daughters and my son. He raised my son too. He was a second daddy to my son, and I appreciate that and honor him for that. And so, anyways, I think I stopped at my daughter. Oh God, forgive me. Okay, so I said my son who's 45, and then I have my daughter Lauren who's 35, and then so I was 26. I'm now 26. Had my daughter, go to work in the department, work there. Then I quit and switch gears. Became a stay-at-home mom, but not really. I knew that I was going to have to contribute to the household because we had just bought a new house. We had the kids. Our kids went to Catholic school, and we had a new car. All the regular things in life. That normal people you just have to do, and it's just very, very important that it takes two nowadays to maintain a household, a family. So so I did everything and anything that I could think of. I became licensed to do in-home daycare. I did that for a while. I sold Tupperware. I sold Tupperware for a while. That was fun and crazy. Let me tell you, I was a shark. My daddy used to say I could sell an ice cube to an Eskimo, which is true. I mean, oh my God. Anybody that I knew, once I started selling Tupperware, if you did not have a party or buy a piece of Tupperware from me, boy, let me tell you, my wrath was unfathomable because I would hound you like a hound dog until you did either one of those. Let me tell you. So I did that, and I immediately realized, my potential to sell and and to really persuade people. I don't know. I guess I have a knack for it. I don't know. But anyway, so at that time, I know things have totally changed now with all the internet and all that stuff. It's not like it used to be. But this was in 1993, I believe it was, somewhere around that time. I hadn't had my second daughter yet, but I had quit the county, was home, and trying to come up with another, means of income to supplement the family. And so, I met this little, this little Spitfire woman, Anna Cateo, I think her name was. Little 5'3", looked like Erica from All My Children. Beautiful woman. Oh my God. Now, if I could sell an ice cube to an Eskimo, this woman could sell a doggone bale of ice to a whole Eskimo town because she was one to just hit the ground and go, go, go. Boy, she'd come in like the Tasmanian devil and round up sales in a second, and you'd never know what hit you. She was awesome. She was something else. So I met her, and I met her because my aunt knew her. So it wasn't by chance. I kind of been thinking about things to do and thought about that, and among other things. There were so many other things I thought of, but chose that at the time. That was the quickest and easiest thing to do. Um, so yeah, so at the time, you signed up, you purchased your kit, and you signed up, and so what they did is they had if you were interested in promoting and getting all the perks that they had for managers, which at the time, once you became a manager, you got to drive a brand new, I mean, I'm talking brand spanking new Dodge Caravan, fully paid, completely paid, tags, license, insurance. You didn't do nothing but drive it. Family car, your husband could drive it. It was your car as long as you maintain your sales. So, in order to earn that, you had to become a manager. To become a manager, you had to you had to recruit 3 people and have 6 parties. I think something like that. So that was step one to become a manager. Once you became a manager, then they give you, I believe they give you 16 weeks to sell $16,000 in order to earn the van. So you become what they at that time, and I don't know. My memory is kind of so I'm just telling you guys what I remembered. But I think they called us executive managers or vanguard managers, something to the effect. Anyway, so you had 16 weeks to do that. They gave you 16 weeks. The clock started ticking once you became a manager. There it goes. You've got 16 weeks to earn that position. So, but in order to do that, you have to promote 3 girls out, which means 3 of your recruits have to in turn become a manager themselves, and then and get them promoted, and then sell the $12,000, $16,000 in 16 weeks. Wow, little old me, crazy as could be. And then I had this Spitfire Anna Capitayo pushing me and my role model along the way. Um, Competitive as all heck. I got that puppy. I broke the record. Okay, in 1993, I believe it was. I broke the record in Fresno for earning the van in a record-breaking, earth-shaking matter of. Are you ready for this? Drum roll. I did it in 4 weeks, guys. 4 freaking weeks. Yep. Lived and breathed Tupperware. Lived and breathed me, my family. Nobody could come over and talk to me, do anything, unless they ordered, bought or had a doggone party. Then engrace my doorstep without listening to me sell them or recruit them or make them a party. And I'm telling you, I made it happen. So that was in 93. So in 93, I became a Tupperware manager and maintained that with the vehicle. Oh my God. Until I had my second daughter. That's right. Andrea. I became pregnant with Andrea in 1990. She was born in 96. So I got pregnant with her in 95, something like that. Somewhere around there. And then I got really sick with her. Really, really sick. It was so terrible. And my chapter number 3, trauma number 3, traumatic experience number 3. Um, so remember, number 1. Well, no. Okay. I mean, I'm just kind of missing and shoving around. But first of all, I was going through my own parents' divorce. Okay. Then getting pregnant as a teen, getting forced to being married, um, being abused, living through the domestic violence, and then getting out of that. Then being raped in my 20s, having to go through that trauma. Then, getting a job, my dream job at the county, social worker, working with the teen kids and the sexually abused kids, and helping the addicts and crisis intervention, all the stuff that I was I wanted to do. I wanted to help people. I wanted to help people go through what I went through and help them get over it. Um, so, and then having to quit that because of the abusive boss that I had. So then, now I even lost track, whatever that was. So, nightmare trauma number 4, I guess it was. Um, at 31 weeks, I was induced. I was going into kidney failure, and I was preeclamptic. And the doctor told my husband was in the Title 4E program at the time. I hardly saw him. Don't even know how I got pregnant, really. Honestly, to be honest with you. And then when she was born with the blue eyes and the blonde hair, people are like, "What?" I'm like, dude, I wanted a baby and it didn't matter. But no, the blue eyes run in my family. In fact, my son has like all 4 of my children have different color eyes. Not a single one of them have the same color eyes. So it's crazy. But anyway, um, yeah. So he was doing the master's Title 4E program, doing his internship in Visalia. Um, and we had just came back from going to, I believe it was, we took the kids to Great America. My son, who was 15 at the time, and then my Lauren was 6 at the time. We took him to Great America. The doctor, against my doctor's advice, because I was already showing signs, spilling protein in my urine, that sort of thing, showing preeclampsia symptoms, that sort of thing. And he said, if you go, you cannot, you stay home, you let them go, you stay with your feet up, that sort of thing. Of course, I never listened to my own, was the word, demise, is that I never listened, especially to the doctor. And unfortunately, got home and my husband was gone. Middle of the night, I had the daycare. I had a house full of the daycare kids. And my 16-year-olds, I woke up and, just felt, sick as heck. My feet were swollen so bad, like terribly swollen. It was ridiculous. They looked deformed. So there goes my 16-year-old son driving me to the ER, and the doctor meeting me at the hospital and telling me, we're going to have to induce. And I'm like, no way. I was only 30 weeks, y'all. 30 weeks. I was just beginning to show, just starting to feel her move. I was devastated. I'm like, no, I can't. There's no way I'm going to risk bringing this tiny, frail little baby into the world and risking losing her. No way. So, the doctors, did their best and they kept me for 24 hours. And finally, they called my husband and they said, look, if we don't take the baby out now, we're going to lose both of them. So he finally discussed it with me, talked me into it. And, I remember my Nana was here at the time. And so, she came and prayed the rosary over me. And, and there it was. They induced the labor. And my poor little baby came into this world about 3 months early, weighing only 2 pounds, 3 ounces. It was another terrible nightmare to have to live through. Just feeling like she was yanked from me and hearing her cry and cry. And I couldn't even do nothing. I couldn't hold her because she had to be in an incubator. And, I would just sit there and cry with her and cry with her. And then when they moved her from Frederick Community to Valley Children's, that was horrific. And just the whole ordeal. And until she was supposed to, she wasn't due until April 26th. She was born February 17th. The doctor said, do not expect her home any earlier than April 26th. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's, we're just in February. That's forever. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. And so, at the time, my husband was gone at school and doing his interning. My Nana would come and stay to help, when she could. And I had the 2 kids that had to be taken back and forth to school and whatnot. And finally through prayer and continually asking for God's intervention, finally at 5 weeks, the doctor said, "You can take your baby home now." And I was such a pain in the butt, y'all. Like, I wanted to be there for every little thing. If they were going to change my baby, feed her, give her a bath, whatever, I had to be right there. And if it wasn't for this one nurse that was such a sweetheart, would call me and, make sure they wouldn't do anything without me. And she was such a sweetheart. I loved her. And at the time, the NICU was not pro breastfeeding for preemies. That was terrible to have to deal with that in itself. So, but we made it again. Another nightmare. We prevailed through by the grace of God, lived through, managed to overcome, and end up with the blessing of my beautiful daughter. So that's Andrea, who is now 28 years old, who oddly enough, completed the Title IV program, followed in her father's steps, and is now a social worker at Child Protective Services, a social work practitioner, mind you. And so that's my Andrea. And then, fast forward to after the trauma and all the ordeal of the preemie, that I had read, somewhere on the internet, wasn't really all that popular yet, but, reading books on preemies and premature births and, this and that, and trying to get as educated as much as I could and figure things out. The book said that there's two things that are going to happen. One of two things are going to happen. Either you are going to be so traumatized from the ordeal that you're going to definitely say, "That's it, no more kids, I'm done, we're done," even if it's your first and only child. Some women will experience that. Then there's those women that just felt so cheated from the experience that they're ready to hightail it and do it all over again ASAP. Like ASAP. Well, wouldn't you know, this one here had to fall under category number 2. I couldn't wait, do it all again. No way. Nobody could talk me out of it. There was just no question about it. I missed out on that experience. I felt like a longing and a yearning of failure, whatever it was, whatever it took, whatever it did. I felt that I needed to have another baby. And so obviously my husband, who never even wanted to stop at one, okay, this man who he has 10 siblings, the nerve of him thinking he could just have one child. Anyway, so he wasn't having it. He wasn't hearing it. But lo and behold, at, what they say somewhere, some women go through a terrible menopause or a premenopausal period. They walk around with those t-shirts that say, "At 40, it could be worse, I could be pregnant." My t-shirt said, "Guess what? At 40, it is worse because I am pregnant." But you know what? I'm telling you, I was so on cloud 9. I am telling you, I was the happiest ever. I love being pregnant. That's my most happiest time. I love being pregnant. I love babies. I love having my babies. And if I could, I would do it all over again. And if it was possible, I would have had 12 children. Yes, definitely. But, my Nana used to tell me, that God didn't make it me that way. So I'm blessed for the 4 that I have, and very, very thankful and blessed for that. So there you have it. Chrissy, who is the baby, was born in 2001, right after the 911 thing. I remember sitting there, big as can be, big as a house, watching the 911 on TV, and just feeling so devastated by it all. And, so sad for those people and thinking such terrible. And then for a minute, thinking, my gosh, what am I bringing what world am I bringing my baby into? And, excuse me, I have this, I just don't know. My lips are just doing this weird thing. And, gosh, be it for me to stop and start again. You know how hard it is to get on here? What a production it is to get these videos done. I'm not about to stop and start this over again, folks. So forgive me if it's irritating you, but nonetheless, I think I got it. Anyway, so yes, October 2001, my baby was born. She is going to be coming up on the 17th. My baby will be 24 years old, my baby, who has just completed her bachelor's, straight A honor roll student, and will be going into graduate school here shortly. In this, she'll be studying psychology. So, my two youngest children, Rudy's going to start barking because there's kids and stuff going on out there. Rudy, don't you dare. Mama's busy right now. We don't want to hear you right now. Oh, good boy. But, anyway, where was I? My two youngest, definitely wanted to follow in the field of helping, of social work, mental health awareness, mental health treatment and all that sort of thing. And I admire them for that. I feel very proud of them. They both want to take their experiences having to deal with dealing with a mom with addiction and going through the divorce, and my youngest having issues of mental health and that sort of thing, which I'll talk about too later, more on going on. But anyway, in a nutshell, that's who I am for those of you that didn't know me. What's been going on this week real quickly, like I said, problems with my phone. Please pray for us. We just lost a puppy from Parvo, my brother's puppy, 8 weeks bear. May he rest in peace. Such a cute, darling little guy. We just lost him on Monday. And so I'm really worried because my little guy, who is, we rescued him 2 years ago in December. That's why his name is Rudy, which is short for Rudolph. And come here, buddy. Come here. He was exposed to bear. They were buddies. They'd hang out and play and run around together. And so we're hoping that he is going to be okay. The vet, we are taking him on Monday. The vet told my daughter that it takes them 10 days. If they're going to test, they're going to be positive, it's going to show up within 10 days. So he has an appointment on Monday to go to the vet to be tested. Please pray for me, you guys. I cannot even bear to think about. We've lost one puppy before this. My daughter had a puppy way back when she was 14. Her friend had given it to her because she was going through some really bad depression at that time, and gave her a puppy, and the thing dies. The poor little guy dies from parvo. That was the most horrific thing to have to watch that little guy suffer. So I don't wish that on anybody's puppy. And God, please, everybody, please pray for my little guy that he doesn't get it. Come here, Woody. Come say hi to everybody. Come here. He's being lazy. He's just laying there. I'll show you him. I don't want to move the camera until I'm sure I'm done, because it took me a minute just to set it right where I wanted it. But anyway, so that's been going on. The book is coming along. Oh my God, we're almost done with that. Can't wait. Started the new e-channel. You're going to, pretty soon, I'll lead you there, tell you how to get there. The online course is coming along. We're launching that. Let your friends and family know. We're going to be taking on 10 initial 10 clients free at no charge. Free, no charge for services. And if you want more information on that, You can go to, you can email us at, write this down, New Life Restoration. The number one, capital N, New Life Transformation. Number one, capital N, New Life Transformation, exclamation mark. Okay, at Gmail. Drop us an email and we will give you all the information. Now we're going to provide services for people that want treatment for recovery. We're going to provide services for loved ones of addicts. We're going to provide services for significant others, codependents, all that sort of thing. If you've lost a loved one to overdose addiction, we're here for you. If you need help dealing with a child who's currently in addiction but is refusing to get help, we're here for you, Mom and Dad. Just everything and anything that pertains to mental health issues or addiction issues, we are going to be here for you. So check us out. Our webpage will be up and running really soon. We will be having this YouTube channel up and running really soon, and really soon we will be having an ebook available for you as well. So with no further ado, y'all, I think I'm going to end it at that. I hope I didn't talk too long, but I hope I talked long enough to get you guys interested in my content. Okay? Peace out. Love you all. Take care. Stay healthy. Stay sober. Stay at peace. Stay transformed. And love each other. And if I didn't tell you today, let it be known that you are loved. You're special and God loves you. Peace out, y'all. Oh, wait, hold on. Forgot to show you my Rudy button. Woody. Say hi. This is Rudy, y'all. This is my Rudy. Say hi, Rudy. Say hi. He's such a lazy guy. That's my Rudy. Okay, everybody. Peace out. Love you.